Hi guys, it's Pastor Larry again, and today I've got number 10 in the series of allowing Jesus to train up your child, or the way it started, I called it to train up a child. But really what we're talking about is to allow Jesus to have a personal interaction with you and your child so that Jesus can be a major impact into the raising and training and loving and encouraging of your child. Well, this is a young lady that I've worked with some. Her name is Leah. I'm sure you're going to enjoy Leah's comments. Listen carefully and the experience that Leah's had, and I'm sure you're going to pick up some good things out of this. So watch the video, enjoy, and we'll be back in a minute.
Hi, my name's Leah Shortell. I am a mother, and we have two beautiful children, Turner, who's 11, and Elizabeth, who's 6. Now, my life would have been completely different if I heard from God at a young age. And talking with Larry and him sharing with me that kids can hear and that they do hear, and he really encouraged me to start introducing this to my children. So we have, and so my son's 11. He's such a mild-mannered boy. He's a pleaser. He just, there's no real struggles that I've ever had with him. He's obedient. He's compliant. He's a lover. He wants to please. So his whole life there's not been a bunch of issues there, but he started struggling with wanting to go to school, just saying, I don't want to go to school, I don't want to go to school, ask me if he can stay home, and, you know, trying to just tell me that he loves me. And but I could tell that there was something going on there, and so I was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity for me to introduce this and to see what's going on, because I was intrigued. I didn't know. So one night at bedtime, we usually say our bedtime prayers, and I just, asked him, why don't you want to go to school? And, he didn't really want to tell me. And so I just had him say, told him to tell Jesus, I don't want to go to school. And so he said that, but then he really didn't close his eyes or take a moment. He just came right out with it. Like, I've been being picked on at school by his peers, and that was the reason why. So that was awesome. So then I could work with that, and so I just said for him to quiet his mind and close his eyes, or asked him how that made him feel, and he said, I feel, rejected, and that they don't like me. And so with those, I just said, tell Jesus that. Tell Jesus how you feel. That's what casting your cares upon the Lord is, and that's okay that you feel that way. And so he did, and I remember him opening his eyes with actually a little bit of a smile, and he said that Jesus told him that he'll help him. And I was like, okay, wow, that's neat. How do you feel about that? And he's like, yeah, I feel better. And I was like, okay, well, Jesus is going to help you through this. And so I remember just, praying with him and just encouraging him as a mom. And the next day, he went to school, and, he was happy to go to school. And I remember him coming home that night and saying that he was not picked on. And that his friends, like all of his friends were they were all really getting along, and they were, the best time playing football. And so I just reminded him, so did you experience Jesus helping you? Because he says he's going to help you. He's like, yeah, it hasn't been like that in a long time. Yeah, I could see he did come help me. And so that was pretty amazing. And he hasn't said since that he doesn't want to go to school. It's never been brought up since then, and I keep on asking him how his relationships are with his friends, and he tells me that they're fine. So that was pretty cool. So then my 3-year-old little girl, her name's Elizabeth, I'm really honing in right now on teaching her feelings, because as I've learned through this is that our feelings are given to us by God, and that they are an alarm clock to help us navigate. Are we getting off track? Are we listening to the lies of the enemy, or are we experiencing Jesus and what he wants us to walk in, which is joy and peace and kindness and gentleness and all those things. So I've been teaching her feelings, and so one day we were just going about our day. I know I was telling her, like, hey, we need to go upstairs and get dressed right now, and I want you to pick out your own clothes. And so I head up the stairs before her, and she immediately gets really angry because she wants to hold my hand going up the stairs. And so I had to come back down, but she was just already just over the top, blowing up. I want you to hold my hand. And she didn't want to get dressed. And so I again just recognized an opportunity to say, Elizabeth, how do you feel right now? And let her voice it. And she goes, I feel mad. And I was like, okay. So I'm down the stairs by her at this point, and I'm down on her level, and I'm saying, it's okay that you feel angry, but tell Jesus you feel angry. And she goes, Jesus, I feel mad. And so then I said, now close your eyes and take a deep breath. And so she did, and I tapped her head, and usually with her I tap her head and I tap her heart, and to get her to know, like, hey, he's going to say something, to you. And I'm like, what does Jesus say? And she goes, to be happy. And she opened her eyes, to be happy, and she had the smile on her face, and she walked up those stairs by herself. I mean, it was completely diffused, like, hot anger to like completely diffused to be obeying what he said, and with joy. And she grabs her own clothes and she's happy to do it. And it was just the most amazing experience to hear, to have that, and to have that tool in our pocket, because truly he knows what's best for us. So
This may seem silly, but does he make parenting easier?
Oh yeah. Now that I've been, doing this for a while, I'm having fun with it, because even in my own decisions, becoming more aware of my own decisions, but becoming aware of decision points in my life and my children, of what we eat, where we go, whether to do our homework now or later, whether to, eat, now or later, just little things that you decide every single day. And it really is like here teaching my kids, it makes parenting easier. And honestly, it makes it more fun. What I'm finding out now is that it's making it fun, and to invite him into your day, to invite him into your decisions. And it gives you this confidence and this joy and an excitement to hear from him and see what he's going to say. It's just brought a lot of peace to our home. A lot of peace and a lot of fun.
That's good.
Too. So, and we're trying to have a lot more fun with it, because if you just do it in the points of hurt, and the points of being angry, or in the bad emotions, I've experienced this with my little girl Elizabeth, that I needed to make it fun. I needed to not only have Jesus speak when she has points of anger, but also in times where it's like, what does Jesus say to have for your snack today? Or what does, Jesus say about should we take a bath or not? And to hear her say something, and then to go with that, because we want to build her confidence in hearing from God, and making him not just a or a, you know,
He's not just a go-to for trouble.
he's not just a go-to for trouble. Perfect way to say that. But he's there in the good and in the bad. And he's always guiding us and always leading us. And he knows what's best for us.
He's supposed to be our go-to for everything.
Yes.
And that's what you're teaching your kids.
Yeah.
And is it helping you walk closer to God?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
You got 2 kids watching you now.
Yep. And it's making me more aware of, just decisions in my personal life that you can just make a decision on autopilot, turn brainless decisions into something really productive and really truly amazing with the littlest things in your mundane life, right? We turn it into like an extraordinary time, not a mundane time.
Life's supposed to be an adventure.
Yes, it's definitely
and
an
with Jesus
adventure.
it is.
It is, absolutely.
Okay, you're going to be talking to young parents just like yourself, trying this, hearing it for the first time. Give them some advice. How to start, what not to do, what to do. Give them some advice.
Yeah. Start with yourself. Obviously, it started with me, casting my cares upon the Lord and really ridding myself of the feelings that were controlling me every single day. The feelings of, anxiety, the feelings of fear, feeling rejected, feeling angry. Taking those to the Lord and letting Him speak truth and bringing His truth and, setting me free and giving me joy and peace and confidence. And so I say start with you. And
do you still go to God for your problems?
I still go to Him every day.
Good.
So I go to God. So I live it. And then, for your children, make it simple. Make it fun.
Children see you live it.
Yes. Yep.
You talk to Jesus right in front of them.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Another thing I say is vulnerability. I now tell my 11-year-old son my struggles and a decision I had to make that was difficult, or tell him that I felt this way in this situation, but I took it to God, and guess what He said to me?
Good.
And so being vulnerable with your kids and, being vulnerable, not that you don't have to have all the right answers, but we know someone who does. And so I recommend that. So make it fun, come up with fun ideas, the dinner table and bedtime and, ask him silly questions. I've been doing that with my 11-year-old son at bedtime. He just likes me just to snuggle with him there. And so we'll ask little silly questions to God and laugh and giggle at what He says. And they don't mean anything. It has no real decision to be made, but it's just fun questions. So do that. And so that's...
Is it amazing to you how interested God is in communicating with your children?
Yes.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah. I really want to just say that He always speaks. I've never experienced since the time that I learned this, that every single time I have asked God a question, I don't have to wait. And this whole waiting on God is more of a heart position of, I'm seeking you, I'm coming to you, I'm waiting on you like a waitress or at a restaurant type thing. Not necessarily waiting, because He's always spoken. It's whether I can have my mind quiet enough to hear what He's saying. And for me to take the time to wait to hear Him and not be distracted with something else. And so that happens to all of us. But be sure and be ready that maybe when you're washing the dishes or doing something that's quiet, that he will speak. And he always does. He never delays. And I just want to encourage everybody that, you know, he never wants to leave you hanging.
That's good. That's good. How'd you learn it? I mean, I know I worked with you one-on-one, but how'd you learn it to teach your kids and to work this out and walk this at home? How'd you do that?
I watched a DVD set put together by Larry Lowe. It's called Restoration Training Ministry.
Restoration Prayer Ministry Training.
Yep. Restoration Prayer Ministry Training. And I think everybody needs to have this as a DVD set in their home. You know, it's something that I will teach my children. They will watch it. We will watch it together so they can get a deeper knowledge of what biblically, why we do this and why God has it set up this way. And it's an amazing tool for your family. But, you know, and, you know, it starts with the family, you know, and I really believe that this is missing, you know, in our churches, because only for the fact that, you know, I was going to church and was a Christian for 20 years, 20 plus years, loving God, reading the Bible, you know, doing the works, but still struggling with my emotional pain. And that, you know, the foundation is that we take our feelings and we take them to God, and that, you know, He's our best friend, He's our advocate, He's the way, He's the truth, He's the life. And without relationship with Him, there is no life. You know, you're going to get off the path. You're not going to go the way that you should. And, you know, so you know, it's all about relationship. Christianity is about a relationship with Christ and talking to Him like He's your very best friend on the phone. I mean, I will just say I've done that. You know, if you need something to do, pick up the phone and call Jesus, because He is your very best friend. And I have done that. Like, literally, I've done this very thing. It may sound simple, but that's faith right Amen. There. That is faith, is talking to a God who is not here in the now and not right here. That's faith. So talk to Him like He's your very best friend, and He will lead and guide you and bring you into perfect inner peace and joy, the joy that no circumstance can ever take away from you.
It's awesome.
So,
thank you, Leah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You did very good.
Thanks.
What do you think, young moms and dads? Did you pick up anything out of Leah's interview? I hope you did. Leah's a sharp young lady who's been working with this for a while, and it seems like she's doing the right thing with her little girl and her little boy. But I hope you picked something up out of that. And the material she was talking about is called Restoration Training Material, Restoration Training Ministry. Right here it is. Consists of 10 DVDs, a 71-page syllabus that goes into some depth as far as the details of teaching. How do you deal with your emotional issues? How do you deal with the struggles of life? And how do you deal with children who are struggling in life? You'll find a lot of practical information in here. If you want to order a set of this, you got to email me at mentorlarrylowe@gmail.com. Right there at the bottom of your screen, just that same email address right there. If you want a set, please give me a call, give me an email, and we'll get one in the mail to you. I hope you enjoyed this interview. I hope you got some good out of it. If there's confusion in this thing, or if you don't fully understand what we're talking about, email me. Let me know. I want to help you, and I can help you. But I can't help you if you don't reach out and let me know you're there. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. If you like what you're hearing. If you like the videos and the things I'm putting out, please share them with the hurting friends, with family, and other people that you know that could use some encouragement and to be boosted up a little bit. Because everything I post is going to affect your life and everyone else's life, because every one of us are the same. We're all struggling to get along. We're all living life. We're all doing the best we can. We're all trying to make a living. Everything's going in the same direction for all of us, only for some it's just a little tougher because of the struggles that they're in. For some young moms and some young dads trying to raise children, it's a lot tougher than it is for others. So stay tuned, subscribe. I'm going to be posting a lot more in the near future that's going to affect your life directly. So thank you for watching. God bless you. I'll see you on the next video.